Vermont is a state in the northeastern United States and is mostly known for being the prettiest state to visit during the fall and with how gorgeous the foliage looks in the Green Mountains. It's not really known for trains, but it's currently served by two intercity Amtrak routes, the Ethan Allen Express and the Vermonter. Amtrak's Vermonter operates twice a day both ways between New York City and St. Albans via the Northeast Corridor. The Ethan Allen Express goes from New York City to Burlington via the Empire Corridor with only one daily round trip. In total, there are 12 Amtrak stations in Vermont. Anyway, we're here to talk about another train that existed during the times of Amtrak, but didn't really last very long. Picture this. You're a random person with a family of four in Burlington, Vermont during the early 2000s looking to get away for the holidays. You wait at the platform of Burlington Union Station assuming the new southbound Ethan Allen Express would appear, but mistakenly, a weird two-car passenger train shows up with the freight engine leading it. What is this? Well, let me tell you. During the very late 1990s, US Highway Route 7 was getting completely overhauled, which meant it was closed for a while. With this, the state's own shortline railroad, the Vermont Railway, came up with an alternative way to travel during the highway reconstruction. In December of 2000, they inaugurated their newest official commuter rail service called the Champlain Flyer. The first inaugural run happened on December 4th and attracted about 250 passengers. According to the Los Angeles Times, a family reportedly handed out muffins as the train rolled past the covered fields of corn stubble and the untouched shoreline of Lake Champlain. This new Champlain Flyer service ran along the shore of Lake Champlain, connecting Burlington with the nearby suburb of Charlotte about 13 miles to the south. At the time, this was known as America's shortest complete commuter rail line. Between Burlington Union Station and Charlotte, the train made two intermediate stops, at South Burlington, which would be added later on, and Shelburne. The short 13-mile trip took just 25 minutes. There were plans to extend the flyer further south to Virginess and Middlebury for a total distance of around 35 miles, and northward to Essex Junction to meet Amtrak's Vermonter. This service was funded by the state of Vermont and was operated by the Vermont Railway using the former Rutland Railroad tracks. Surprisingly, the state opted originally for just 2 round trips a day on weekdays, but since they had so much money, they shot for 10 round trips a day. But they eventually just stuck to 15 trains a day total, with I think 7 northbounds and 8 northbounds. The train was actually kinda quick too. According to the words of Matt Melzer, the train speed was highly competitive with Highway 7, which comes very congested during the rush hour. However, the Champlain Flyer would not be so competitive if it weren't for various public funds made available mainly by the state of Vermont, which was eager to initiate the service. These funds were used to make substantial upgrades to the track, including installation of heavier welded rail, over which now the trains could operate at 59 miles per hour. Before this, the limit was just 25 miles per hour. New signals and grade crossing protections have also been installed. For the first few months of service, the Champlain Flyer was free, encouraging residents of Shelburne and Charlotte to try the train for their commute to Burlington. Sometime later, the one-way fare was increased to just $1 each way to be deposited in a fare box upon entering the train. It was still a bargain compared to most commuter rails in the area. It utilized a single EMD GP38-2 from the Vermont Railway in a special blue livery, pulling 2 demotored Bud RDCs nicknamed the Boise Buds as coaches. These Buds were originally used by the Virginia Railway Express. One was a normal coach, while the other was a cab car. Unfortunately though, this pleasant little experiment wouldn't last long at all. Initial ridership figures were lower than expected as the highway reconstruction plan was delayed. In 2002, it was threatened to be cut from the state budget. According to John Bell, the newly elected Governor Jim Douglas decided that the train was not viable. The person who he succeeded, Howard Dean, was a huge supporter for the Champlain Flyer. When he stepped down as governor, it caused a huge hit for the project. People who lived along the line fought to keep the horns from being blown at the road crossings, forcing the state to put up costly gates. Critics said that nobody would ride it and that the money would have been better if spent elsewhere. As early as 1999, before the actual inauguration of the train, opponents in the Vermont House tried to delete money from the project, according to the Los Angeles Times. Unfortunately, despite all contracts being prepaid through the end of the year, the commuter rail couldn't survive. The last ever train ran on February 28th of 2003, ending only 3 years of service. But don't fret, because the train would eventually come back. Almost immediately after the commuter rail's discontinuance, the Vermont Railway looked to re-establish it as a seasonal tourist train. Now operating under the Green Mountain Scenic Railway, it was now called the Champlain Valley Flyer. It uses the same exact route as the former commuter train. Today, the new Champlain Valley Flyer is a dinner train that only runs during the summer and fall. The train still operates today as of 2024, but I might warn you, it's pretty pricey considering it's a 3-hour round trip with a 3-course meal. All trains depart from Burlington during the mid-afternoon, running to Middlebury before returning. According to American Rails, they also host the Cocktails on the Rails excursion. This trip does not offer a complete dining experience, but it does feature alcoholic beverages and light snacks. You know what? I might think about heading to Vermont at some point in my life now. Well, that wraps up today's short video. It's a shame that the commuter rail option for Vermont wasn't really viable, but at least now we know that their good attempt was cherished and is now a loved scenic excursion train. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever, I won't tell you what to do. Anyway, that's it from me. See you in the next video and have a great day.